Hi everyone! Today, we're going to take a look at the best budget PC case in the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our top 10 best picks, and we'll talk about what you look for before buying a best budget PC case. You can find links to all of the products we've mentioned in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Fractal Design Focus G. This Swedish hardware company has released a range of PC cases, and the one we're looking at today is the Focus G model. An AdX open interior design is aimed towards budget-conscious gamers, and we feel this would be suitable for those doing their first build, making it one of the best beginner builders PC cases you can buy. We think this is an attractive case. The white is striking, and the massive acrylic screen on the side allows you to bask in the glory of your achievements. Add to that the illumination from the white LED and the two front 120mm case fans. This will encourage you to complete a neat build since everything will be on show for all to see. However, a little more time and care will be needed as the cable management holes are lacking grommets. If you choose to install fans or a liquid cooling system in the roof, it's going to get tight. Not impossible, but it will just require a little more fiddling. We only notice very limited noise deadening material in the front panel and none at all in the main panels. Our test unit did run surprisingly quiet, though. However, sufficient cooling would be required to keep the noise down. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Thermaltake Corvon SPCC. This is the only mini cube case we have in our review. The reason isn't because they're not as good as their full-size counterparts. It's because a mini cube case requires more planning and commitment to the build due to the more limited space. Are we still talking about PC cases, or are we now talking about relationships? No, definitely PC cases. Although smaller in size, it can still handle a mini ITX motherboard and a full-size power supply. Even though restricted to only a mini ITX motherboard, the case does offer 2 expansion bays. This enables the installation of dual-slot graphics cards. It was also possible for us to install a cooling system with 140 mm of clearance. 2 hard drive bays are mounted behind the right-hand side panel. Each can support a 2.5 drive and a 3.5 drive. The small size does cost. These are dealt with in a clever way, though. For example, the top, bottom, and 2 side panels are removable, giving you greater access during your build. This tiny little unit does a great job insulating fan noise, featuring 2 USB 3.0 ports, plus a headphone and mic jack located in the front. Makes it easily accessible. We would definitely recommend this case for use as a home theater PC. The number 3 position is held by Thermaltake Versa H15. Admittedly not the best case in our list to look at, but not all of us want our tower to be a showpiece. Some prefer to hide their components, especially now that gone are the days of optical drives that require regular access. Being a mini tower complements the ability to store away your rig safely out of sight. The Versa H15 is up to the important task of holding all your components together in a solidly constructed case. The case arrives with a pre-installed 120mm fan in the rear. There's a removable disk drive bay near the front capable of holding 2 drives. SSDs can also easily be mounted at the back in 2 prepared cutouts. If you would like to install beefy cooling, it's possible with space in both the front and top panels. Both can accommodate units up to 240 mm. The construction quality was a standout to us. Often during a build, you notice screw holes not lining up quite right, cutouts not lined up correctly, and sometimes just general flimsiness. This tower felt solid during the entire build, and everything lined up as it should. When removing the panels, we could also replace them with these. This proves that care has been taken when this case was designed. Next at number 4, we have Cougar MasterBox Lite 3.1. Don't be thrown by this being referred to as micro. This PC case from Cougar Master may be shorter than most, but it has depth. This means you can fit the longest and tallest graphics cards on the market. Let's face it, most of us want a PC case that looks cool. And we think this case most definitely looks cool. From the geometric angles to the 3 customizable trim colors, it certainly is pleasing to the eye. An entirely clear side panel can only mean one thing: that wiring job needs to be perfect. It's a great opportunity to show off your meticulous skills in cable management. However, if you don't take as much pride as we do, maybe this one isn't for you. Use of either a micro ATX or a mini ITX motherboard is compatible with this case. This is actually what the micro refers to in the case's name. The dimensions are actually rather generous. The ability to house any graphics card or heatsink currently available, the possibilities are endless. That doesn't mean you need those components now, but knowing upgrades can be added later gives us a warm, fuzzy feeling. Plenty of space is also provided for adding a cooling system to keep those high-end components running full capacity. Support for up to 4 fans. One comes already pre-installed is provided. There's space for 2 liquid cooling systems up to 240 in the front and 120 in the rear. The number 5 position is held by InWin 101. Next, in our reviews of the best budget PC cases, we immediately found the sleek black front of this case alluring. The warm glow of the red LED and the smooth panels give a sense of power and control. Plus, for a change of style, this case is also available in white with a blue LED. The roomy chassis is capable of packing in all the latest high-end components. A tinted tempered glass side panel lets anyone who's interested peer inside. A great way to show off the circuit wizardry contained within. Motherboard compatibility is vast. Choices include ATX, Micro ATX, Mini ITX, and some eATX boards as well. At the rear of the chassis, there are 7 expansion slots. 2 bays for HDD can be found at the top. You may want to place your 2.5 HDD at the rear of the motherboard tray. 2 hidden trays were discovered there too. In keeping with the multiple build options, it's possible to add up to 6 fans within this InWin chassis. We appreciated the build quality, noticing there was no plastic inside from the outside. The steel and glass give a feeling of strength and quality, allowing for flexibility in how you complete your build means we would recommend this for first-time builders. The quality of construction and choice of materials gives you the confidence that this rig will last. The number 6 position is dominated by Corsair Carbide 200R. From the outside, this looks more like an old-school office desktop. With an emphasis on simplicity, Corsair designed this case to make builds as easy as possible. Look at it this way, purchasing a cheap and easy-to-work-with case means more money to spend on components. Would you rather a fancy PC case or that upgraded graphics card? We know what we would choose. Corsair claims that the one and only time you'll need a screwdriver on your build is when you install the motherboard. They have tried to take the term tool-free to the next level. And being a mid-tower means plenty of room for all your goodies. Taking a simple approach affords Corsair to supply a rigid chassis and solid panels. Black paintwork is carried throughout, and even the screws have been given a coat. Keeping with simplicity, the only ports or switches are 2 USB 3.0 ports, headphones, an audio jack, and a power/reset switch. Offering 7 expansion slots, this makes multi-GPU configurations available. A range of HDD options are also presented, and supporting up to 4 3.5-inch hard disks. Squeezing a radiator into the roof would prove difficult, but not impossible. Arranging all this hardware is made simple by using clever clipping mechanisms. With an abundance of cable routing holes, it is easy to hide all those ghastly wires. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Cougar MX330-G. With a minimalist, functional design, this, in a way, makes the Cougar stand out. Being understated is attractive. It displays confidence, and with this PC case, there are many reasons to be confident. The Cougar does a great job of hiding cables. It's a good thing it does because it also sports a beautiful tempered glass side panel, and the easy-to-remove dust filters fall in line with the clean look. We spend a lot of money on components. We need to keep them cool. The Cougar has fantastic airflow and cooling potential. You're sorted with both fan and liquid cooling options, depending on which you prefer. There's space for 2 fans at the top, 2 at the front, and another at the rear for expelling all that unwanted heat. Up to a 240 cooling radiator can additionally be installed, ensuring both protection and smooth running of all those expensive components. This case looks good, and can keep everything running at a low temperature. But what about size restrictions? Well, supporting up to a 350 graphics card, this means a 4K 6-disk capable rig is possible. Offering eATX motherboard support size isn't an issue. It's even possible to arrange a dual-socket server motherboard with 2 radiators measuring 240 each. We think it's fair to say that size isn't an issue for the Cougar. The number 8 position is held by AeroCool Cylon RGB Mid-Tower. As we've mentioned, we love gaming. That's why we were pleased to find this RGB case from AeroCool. There's just something about RGB LED. They give a feeling of high-tech, fun, and action. Along with the see-through side panel, this case just screams gaming. It's all well and good to look the part, but what's important is, can it play the part? We will take a look at if this is the case you want for your next build. Being a mid-tower means there should be no problem housing all those necessary items for a gaming rig. A high-end graphics card and cooling solution are essential. Surely being aimed at gamers, the AeroCool can fulfill these needs, right? Long graphics cards aren't an issue. Cooling, however, is a little more restrictive. Although able to mount up to a 200 Fordham radiator in the front, it can be challenging. Pre-installed with a 120mm fan in the rear, a further 120mm can be mounted to the top. If you are new into builds and are performing a budget build, but still want to look the part, then this might be for you. This case is certainly attractive, and we were impressed with the cable management options. If you prefer to focus on the parts you can't see, we think there are better options available. They may not be as flashy or attractive, although they will give you more flexibility when adding those all-important components. Next, at number 9, we have Fantex Eclipse. Featuring a tempered glass panel, black steel construction, and space for hooking up a radiator and custom loop, this ATX-rated case offers a wealth of features for the price. This should suit most starter and even some intermediate builds, keeping everything running more or less to spec. It would benefit from a more advanced cooling system, either an intake fan or larger frontal vents. But considering you can snatch this case up for less than a new game, it's a pretty compelling prospect. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Deepcool Matrex 50 mid-tower. This translucent wonder is perfect for those with expansive RGB setups. 2 tempered glass panels, one on the side and one on the front, emphasize your custom sequences, allowing them to jump out into the room. Wide vents on both sides of the case allow for pretty decent intake, large enough to accommodate 2 120mm fans as well as the pre-installed exhaust. Cooling shouldn't be an issue with this design. It's not particularly the most durable case ever, but with a price tag this good, you can't sweat the small stuff. That's all for today. We upload computer and accessories product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.